Good afternoon, you sports gamers. Raphael, Esparza from DocSports.com, giving you another episode of Ask a Bookie. Finally, I took the week off because I was out of town throughout all last week visiting the folks. I didn't want to do a show at their crib just because it's a small place. I didn't want them to listen to it, and I was just trying to spend some quality time with the folks. Haven't seen them in almost 2 years since the pandemic, so I apologize for the lack of free pick videos and no show of Ask a Bookie all last week. But we'll get going today. It's a Friday show. It should be a fun-packed full show of college football, NFL. If you guys want to throw in some NBA, NHL, college basketball, anything you guys want to talk about, just chime on in. You can put it under the comments, under the top chat. I'll try to answer as many questions as possible, try to give out some free plays. I'm going to throw out 2 free plays for you, one in the NFL and one in college football. So hopefully you guys have a great weekend. Should be a fun weekend. Great soccer match tonight, USA versus Mexico. Neil, how's it going? Thanks for chiming on in, Neil. Hopefully you're having a fantastic Friday. Like I said, in soccer, you have Mexico and USA today. I think at 9 o'clock at ESPN2, we have some great college basketball games, NBA, NHL, 2 college football games that we'll break down here shortly. Great matchups between Cincinnati and UCF. Kansas Cincinnati covered this big number, 23.5. There's some 23s out there as well. Totals 59. I say wait till maybe to see if this one goes back up to 24. There is 124 globally. I think South Florida is could be a good play plus the points. I think Cincinnati, of course, wins this game, but they have not covered 3 straight. I think they don't cover 4 straight. So I think Cincinnati wins, but I'll give me the Bulls of South Florida to cover that game. You're one of the good guys. Thanks, Neil. Thanks for the kind words. I try to be honest on everything I do here over at Doc Sports and all the other stuff that I do globally as an odds maker as well. So hopefully you guys enjoy all this. I'm not one of those handicappers that you see on social media and Twitter. I don't have a play on every Thursday night game, Monday night game. I don't throw out big plays just because there's a game on TV. I'm not all about the sell. I'm all about the try to win. So, like I said, I only put out I usually put out anywhere between 5 to 6 plays for football. Usually 3 in one sport, 2 in the other. Like this week, I have 3 in NFL, 2 in college football. So, like I say, it should be. I try to be as honest as possible. So, thanks for the kind word, Neil. Any thoughts on college basketball tonight? You know what? I'm not the biggest college basketball bettor right when the season starts because I'm still trying to figure out how teams are going to work. Some of these games are really big. I like a lot of big favorites today. I liked Richmond Spiders this morning when it was 5.5 last night. Now it's up to 6.5. So I'm going to see if that comes down. That was one of the plays I was looking at. What was another one? It was Northern Kentucky was a play I was looking at tonight as well. What else? SMU. I'm going to see how late this one goes for against Oregon. If it goes up to 7.5 or 8, I might take a look at SMU on the road in Oregon. So, like I said, there's a couple totals I did play today over at Doc Sports. Southern Utah against Dixie State was a game I was looking at. Purdue against Indiana State. Minus 23.5, 24. Now it's up to 26.5. So there's really no value on that. So what about the Iowa State at home? And the number switched last night. I think the Beavers opened up, I think 1 or a pick 'em. Now Iowa State's -1. I would say, if you're going to look at that, I would take Iowa State. So you're just laying pretty much a game. That's all you do just need is a victory. I thought it was going to be pick 'em, so that's why I didn't touch that game. But I can see Iowa State, the Cyclones, winning this one at home. But this Beavers team has some nice transfers coming in from the portal. So it's one of those games I'm going to be watching just for future references. And that's why college basketball now these days, Neil, for the first couple of weeks, you just want to kind of watch and do a lot of reading, box scoring, just because a lot of these teams have portal transfers. I just want to see how they gel with the other ones. So I would say that's one of the ones I probably won't have action on, but I'm definitely have interest on just because I want to see how Oregon State looks throughout the whole Pac-12 conference, Iowa State for the Big 12. So it should be an interesting game. I lean towards Iowa State a little bit, but like I said, I'm not going to put anything on there. But hopefully that helps you out. Neil, I think you're right. It should be easy on college basketball right now. Yeah, I mean, I started off a little rough on college hoops. Like I said, I'm a big totals guy, so some totals have fell flat on my face. Some totals I was just totally wrong. So I know some other handicappers have been really good to start off the season. I normally start off slow on all for some reason for all NBA and college basketball, so it doesn't bother me starting off a little bit rough. But there's some games, like I said, I can't wait to watch and see what the outcomes are because these are future references all college basketball because it's November. We have all the way through March to make some good cash in college basketball. So I'm not gonna cry over bad losses in November 12th when we have these pretty much a good solid 3 months of great college basketball play. So hopefully we'll have a fantastic college basketball. See, hopefully you catch big tonight, Neil. So good luck on that. Boise State, Wyoming tonight in college football. I like Wyoming to cover. I agree on that one. I like the under. I think Wyoming needs to keep this game close on defensive wise. So I think that's why I thought the under was the better play on value. So I agree on that. Boise State's defense has been really good. I think they've cashed four straight unders coming into this when they held Fresno State on the road to only 14 points. But I think Wyoming covers. I was for the 14. I don't know if we're going to see 14 and a half. I think it'll stay at 14 for the Cowboys game. I know it's the late game. It's the 9 o'clock game. I would be shocked if we see 14 and a half against Wyoming, but I still think they cover. I think Boise wins by 10. So we're both on the right sides, Neil. Andrew, what's going on? Do Michigan Wolverines win tomorrow? I like Michigan tomorrow, but Penn State can't run the ball. And if you can't run the ball, it's supposed to be an ugly, ugly game with some wind, some rain. I think Penn State could be in trouble. I think Franklin, who maybe was reading his press clippings where he could open up his checkbook and get a big raise or go somewhere else with some of his names were popping in at USC, LSU, Florida, whatever you heard. I think it's going to haunt him. They just can't run the ball. And if you can't run the ball, it's could be doomed. I like Michigan tomorrow. I like give me the Khakis. Give me the Wolverines on the road. I mean, they played well enough to win that game against Michigan State. They were winning in all three quarters on the road. So I like Michigan tomorrow at Happy Valley. Hopefully we're on the same page. If not, good luck and thanks for chiming on in, Andrew. I hope you have a fantastic weekend. But let's get going with our free play. We're going to do college football for you guys today, our college football free play. And I would highly, highly recommend waiting for this total. It's a late game on Saturday night. It's a 10:30 Eastern Standard Time, Nevada, San Diego State. I know San Diego State can't score, but I do like the over. I like the over at 45.5. This total opened up at 47.5. It keeps on dropping, so I'm going to play the over at 45.5, but I'm going to wait to see if I can get 45. I say highly recommend waiting on this one. I think Nevada will be able to move the ball on their passing game against the Aztecs defense. And I think they put up 25, 30 points, and I think San Diego State puts up double digits against them. So I like the total at 45.5. Highly, 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 highly recommend waiting to see if that total drops to 45.5. It's not going to go past 46, or if it moves a half a point, you're not in bad shape. But I'm going to wait. So that's my college football free play for you guys. We'll do an NFL free play before I sign off. But that's my college football free play for you guys. Nevada, San Diego State over 45.5. Neo, I don't know if you know into NHL, but anything you like tonight? Pretty small slate. Yeah, it is pretty small slate. Some big numbers on the board. I think Chicago wins at home. I think Toronto wins at home. I didn't want to lay minus 185. Carolina, Philadelphia seems. I had Philadelphia the other night when they lost at home 4-0. I thought they were going to play much better. So I'm a little puzzled on the Flyers on that one. I do kind of like. What's the other? I'd like the total. Oh, kind of like the Edmonton Buffalo over at if you can get even money on the over at 6, maybe something small. But like I said, it's a small slate. Had a big play last night. Finally, we won. Some good games on Sunday. Minnesota, Seattle, Canucks at Vegas. So some really good games tomorrow in the NHL. But I agree, very, very, very small slate in the NHL, Neil. But there's some still value if you can find it on the frozen pond. But we are recovered Boise, Wyoming. Like I said, I don't think that's going to move to 14.5. But Neil, me and Neil both agreed. I think Wyoming is the team to cover tonight. Let's get going on Saturday's matchups. Some great noon matchups on Saturday. Should be fun to see West Virginia, Kansas State. It should be a fantastic game. Kansas State now about 6, some 6.5s up there. If you missed 5.5, which is opened, or even some 6s, I would still take Kansas State -6. I think that's an interesting play. We'll go to some Big Ten actions. Let's see, Minnesota, Iowa. Iowa's 4.5 point favorite. There's 1 5.5. This game is just the total's 37. It's a 3:30 game. I would take the points on this one. Iowa just can't score. I can't put any of my money on Iowa right now. It's just a hard place to score on that one. Kansas State has been looking really good past few weeks. They should cover. Yeah, I agree. I think that's why I kind of like Kansas State for Saturday at the big noon. I don't know, do you call it the big noon kickoff since it's a noon game, whatever you want to call it? But yeah, I like the way Kansas State has been playing. West Virginia is on a tailspin. I think they're 1-3 on the road. Kansas State dominating win against Kansas, beating by 25. I just didn't win against TCU and Texas Tech and with Kansas State. Were impressive with me coming off 3 straight losses, and then you bounce back and win 3 in a row. So I had to put my hat off to Kansas State on bouncing back. I mean, those losses were not against bad teams. They should have beat Oklahoma. They lost to Iowa State, I think, by 8. So it should be very interesting to see where that goes. But yeah, I do kind of like Kansas State. Do you live in Vegas, Riff? Yes, I live in Vegas and I live in New Orleans. I have 2 places that I bounce back and forth. So it's fun places to go. If I like humidity, I'll travel to the south. If I like the dry heat, I travel to the desert. But I hate the Vegas traffic. It's just I remember moving back there 20 plus years ago. To what it is now, it's night and day. That's one reason why I don't live in Las Vegas full time. The traffic is horrendously bad. And you know what? If you're driving around Vegas, all you see is chain restaurant after chain restaurant. Me and the wife love to go try new places to eat, mom and pop places. And if you're looking for that in Vegas, you ain't going to find it because it's just chain restaurant after chain restaurant after chain restaurant. I like the mom and pop places. I love me a mom and pop cafe where I can go in the morning, do some work, have a nice cup of coffee, shoot the shit with the locals and stuff like that. In Vegas, you just don't find that. It's just chain restaurants. So it's probably one of the main reasons why I don't live there full time. Well, traffic has to be one of the main reasons why I don't live there full time. It's just it's going to be worse than pretty much LA pretty soon. So it's probably one of the reasons why we don't live there full time. You're actually right. Vegas, great place to visit, not great to, I'm not going to say it's not a great place to live. I enjoyed living there full time for 20 years, met my wife there. So there's some good stuff and there's some great friends that we still have there that I miss all the time, not hanging out with them. But like I said, driving around is not fun in Sin City. But let's get going back to some college football games. Michigan, Penn State, we were ready to drop that down. Like I said, I can't wait to watch that game. It's going to be very interesting. Where is it? Oklahoma-Baylor, another big noon kickoff. I'm calling it here against you guys. You guys are all who are all watching can witness this. Baylor beats Oklahoma this weekend. I'm going to take the plus. I have a ticket at +6 already because I have a feeling that's going to come all the way down to 5.5 or maybe even 5 by kickoff. But I think Baylor wins this one. I know they lost last week to TCU, but let's face it, TCU had an emotional game. They lost their head coach that's been there forever. I don't think Baylor bounces back against Oklahoma, their first loss. And let's face it, we all know Oklahoma has not been able to win games, cover games, whatever you want to call it. I'm a little shocked that they're still undefeated. I mean, let's face it, they should have lost to Texas. I'm not sold on them already. They struggled against Kansas off the break. They should have lost to Kansas State. They should have lost to West Virginia. So I'm going to say Oklahoma goes down this week. I think Baylor takes them. Scott could have bought pizza for supper, but I took Chicago Blackhawks on a puck line instead. I like that. I like that play. If you're going to look at the Blackhawks and Coyotes, who have only won one game, I think we all can agree the Blackhawks had the better talent on the ice at home. They won back-to-back games. The Blackhawks, even though both of those games I think were in overtime. I mean, you're getting probably nice plus money. So I agree. Cash that ticket and have steak tomorrow, Scott. So that's what my 2 cents. Blackhawks are the better team. I just think they started off slow with all the stuff that was going on in the locker room and outside the ice. Neil, one thing before I have to leave for work. You don't have to go to work, Neil. Give me your number. I'll call you off. Huge NBA slate tonight. Anything that sticks. Was really excited to watch the Bulls Golden State game tonight until Ruchis got tested positive for COVID. Green may not play for the Warriors, so I'm still gonna be excited for it, but not as much. I looked at Denver against the Hawks. I mean, this Hawks team. I mean, for what they have on talent, why have they only covered 2 other last 10 games? So it blows my mind. I was leaning it towards Denver minus 4. What was another one? I really wanted to pull the trigger on the Pelicans +9 at home against the Nets, but I really couldn't. I wanted to take Cleveland -4.5. I want to see how they bounce back after losing. What's his name? Sexton for a while. I want to see how they bounce back on that one. So there's a couple games I had my games on circled, but I still want to pull the trigger because again there were some injuries that I escaped. I think the Lakers win tonight. What was another good? I think Charlotte beats New York. I think the Knicks may have some issues. Who should start? Who should play more? So I think getting the Charlotte plus points at home could be something interesting. So yeah, like I said, I was really excited to watch Golden State Chicago if both teams were healthy. But I thought maybe Chicago could be the play at plus points, but I just couldn't with Vucic not being playing. So that was my 2 cents when it comes to the NBA, Neo. And hopefully you get off work soon, Neo. Have a great weekend, Neo. Thanks for all the questions. Have a safe weekend, and check me out Monday as another episode of Ask a Bookie will be on Monday. Don't forget, next week we have a show on Monday and Wednesday. You can check Ask a Bookie 3 days a week, Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Sometimes my Monday show might be 3:30 Eastern Standard Time as I do a radio interview that sometimes lasts a little bit longer. But check me out over at Doc Sports YouTube channel for 3 days a week of Ask a Bookie, Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Let's get going for our NFL free play before we run out of time. And I forget to say it, as I already said, the college football free play was Nevada, San Diego State over 45.5. And again, I highly recommend waiting to see if that drops down to 45. I would still take 45.5, and I probably would still take you on 46 as well. But hopefully we can get that better number at 45 before kickoff. But the NFL free play is now at the Chubb is out for Cleveland. I think their other running back is now out for Cleveland as well. Felton, he's out now. We're going to take the New England Patriots -2.5 over to Cleveland Browns on Sunday. If you guys hear me on the radio or on other podcasts, my Super Bowl pick this year was the New England Patriots to win the Super Bowl. So Belichick can rub it in Tom Brady's nose like Brady did last year. I think New England is playing much better as of late. I know what happened last week with Jones grabbing an ankle. That's all in the past. But New England gets this game at home. I just think they're going to find a ways to win. I like the way the Patriots have been playing defense, holding Carolina to 6 points. Last week, beating the Chargers on the road by 3 points, coming off 4 out of 5 wins. They should have beaten Dallas. Let's face it, they lost in overtime. I mean, they could have actually had 4 out of 5 game winning streak. So I like the Patriots, especially now that Chubb and Felton are just been listed out a couple minutes ago, as I saw on social media before I jumped on the air. I'm going to take the Patriots at home, laying a soft number at 2.5. I really thought the Patriots should have been even a 3.5 point favorite, especially how the way the Patriots have been playing. Like I said, it could easily been five straight on this one. So I'm going to take my Super Bowl prediction favorite, the New England Patriots, this week at home, -2.5 against a team that won't be able to probably run the ball now. And it's all going to be around Baker. So give me the Patriots. Alfonso Scott, thanks for agreeing with me on the Patriots. I guess me and you will both go to the cashing window because I will have action. And I already do have a small ticket on 2.5, just thinking if Chubb was going to be able to play, might get a better number. So probably, I think it's still 2.5. Let me double check on that one. But me and Alfonso, Browns 0-6 since 1992, and I did see that earlier in the week. So that I did see that. I don't think that was still 2.5. It says win bet has -2 on New England. I have to double check on that one, but mostly 2.5s out there, total 45. So I'm gonna like I said, I think that's the best play for me on that one. So there's my free plays for you on NFL and college football. NFL again. We're going to take the New England Patriots -2.5 at home against the Cleveland Browns. And in college football, we're going to take the Nevada San Diego State over 45.5. Again, make sure we try to wait to see if that total comes down, because I think the betting public and the wise guys will probably bet that total under in college football. So hopefully we all cash some big tickets. Alfonso, I'm locking it in Sunday. Let's cash, boss. I say we do both cash, and we'll have a great Sunday night when we cash that ticket. So thanks, Alfonso, for chiming on in. But again, this is Raphael Esparza for another episode of Ask a Bookie over on the Docs YouTube channel. Don't forget to follow Docs YouTube channel. You have great content. I put up about anywhere between 5 free play winners a day. We have some great content with Indian Cowboys, Scott Spreitzer, Tony George, Doug Upstone, the new guy August. So make sure you check us all out over at Doc Sports. Like some great contents and some great shows, some great interviews. So check us out, all of us over on Doc Sports YouTube channel. Alfonso, Knicks first half money line, Bucks money line, Grizzlies +2, and the Spurs. I kind of like all of them except the Knicks. I understand Knicks first half is probably the best way to go on that one. Bucks money line against Boston. That's a tight one. That's going to be a really tight one. I'll be rooting for you. Grizzlies, I kind of agree with the +2, and I do like the Spurs. You get the best number because it's 2.5s all across the board. So that +3 is nice. Is a nice one. I see how Dallas bounces back after that thumping they took against Chicago. So I'll be rooting for that one. Like I said, some great stuff on there. Hopefully you cash that 4-teamer, Alfonso. I'll be rooting for that one. I'm going to write that down when I'm off on that and give me something to root for, because I don't have action in any of those 4 plays. So it gives me something to root for, because I definitely will have 2 of those games on one of my TVs in my office watching. So good luck, and hopefully you cash. Don't forget, if you're looking at NBA, Alfonso, don't forget to turn over to soccer tonight. A great soccer match tonight on ESPN2, USA and Mexico in a World Cup qualifier. Should be a great game. Hopefully USA wins, get some more points for World Cup qualifying. And let's face it, if you like watching USA soccer or any soccer, you always want to root against Mexico when your USA is playing, because it's like hated. I tell people that's the probably most hated rivalry in all sports. Not Boston Red Sox and the Yankees, not Cubs, Cardinals, not Pittsburgh, Cleveland. Stuff that I always tell. It's USA and Mexico in soccer is the most heated rivalry in all sports. When another team fills up water balloons with urine and throws it at your players, that's a heated rivalry, not stuff like that. So I 100% agree that the most hated rivalry in all sports has to be men's soccer, USA and Mexico. If you don't believe it, I think there's a great documentary. I think it's on YouTube or Netflix. I have to look on that. It's a great documentary of the past performances of that heated rivalry. I think it was on ESPN as well. I could be wrong, but it should be fun stuff to do. But like I said, thanks for everyone chiming on in. Don't forget to check me out 3 days a week now on Ask a Bookie. You can check me out on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Fridays usually the weekend show. Not that much on the weekend fights this weekend. I know UFC there's a UFC event this weekend. There is some boxing on there. There's some big favorites. UFC was it in Vegas between Rodriguez and Holloway's the main event. Holloway -$7. I think Rodriguez is a good play on that one. Good plus money. It should be something interesting. I like Felicia Spencer, but she's a -$3 favorite as well on UFC card. So not that much action on the fisticuffs. Ben Rothwell, heavyweight, I think that might be some good value if his number continues to drop, hopefully. But not that much like we saw last week of UFC 268 and boxing with Canelo Alvarez and Khalid Plant, which I was attending at last week. But so like I said, it should be a fun weekend in sports. And then again, college basketball. all weekend long to how's I could with not that big of a slate of college basketball tomorrow, but I'm really interested in two games: Pacific and Hawaii, and Texas and Gonzaga tomorrow in college hoops. Oh, look at the number just came out on Gonzaga, Texas. Gonzaga -6. Total is 151 and a half. So that should be very interesting. Can't wait to watch the games. One of the games I'll probably and then UNLV at California. UNLV's minus, and that can't be right. I mean UNLV -7 over at California. Wow, total 131 and a half. A little shocking on that. I thought that was a tad too high, but it should be fun and exciting to watch all these sports. Like I said, that's why I'm doing a show 3 days a week, so we can talk a little college basketball on Wednesday, on Mondays and Wednesdays. And Mondays we'll talk a little Monday Night Football as well. It should be great for Monday Night Football. Can't wait to talk Monday Night Football with some great prop bets. What if I'll put up some OBJ prop bets for the weekend for that game, so you can check out some of my prop bets. You can check most of my prop bets on my social media at VSI.sports. I wish I could say where you can find them, but I'm not allowed. I shouldn't say I'm not allowed. I don't like to promote global books on the Doc's YouTube channel, but you can check me out on my social media on Twitter at VSI.sports, and you can check me out on Instagram at Raphael Esparza, where I do some of my prop bets over there. So it's good stuff. But I'm going to jet out. Thank you for all chiming on in. Alfonso, Scott, Neil, everyone else, if I missed, thanks for chiming on in. We'll be back on Monday with Monday Night Football prop bets, some NBA, NHL, college basketball on Monday. Like again, 3 days a week now. You can catch my show at Ask a Bookie over on the Doc YouTube channel. You can check me out at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. You guys all have a fantastic weekend. And really quick, my free plays were today in college football, Nevada, San Diego State over 45.5, and in the NFL, Belichick -2.5, New England Patriots over the Cleveland Browns. Have a great weekend. And again, please don't bet what you don't have. Have a great weekend, everybody.